as always. Okay, got it. We have it in Telegram. We can start. Martin, do we want to go first?
Sure. So yeah, I finally have the PR related to pending blocks. I did have to add some additional things like fixtures, but yeah, that's done. There are some comments that I'm addressing as we speak, and yeah. So, but it should be like I should merge it today. And apart from that, yeah, I'm gonna start working on the store, like as I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Paul, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Um, so for the last month, I've been mostly focusing on the name of the consensus client. So every day, at least 5 hours a day, thinking about it. Just kidding. Anyway, I came up with an idea and I posted it in the group. Let's see what happens. Um, Other than that, more seriously, I've been focusing on. Sorry. More seriously, I've been focusing on rereading, on diving deeper on the state transition part of the consensus client. So I've been rereading some parts of the E2 book and the Vitalik consensus specs to understand better the state transition, because that's what we're working on right now. Then I've been reading some PRs of some people that have implemented some of the epoch processing and stuff to give some advice. And we've been able to merge a PR to have the test runner ready for operations, and soon we'll be opening the new issues related to operations. So we'll be able to do exactly like we did for epoch processing, where we have a lot of issues related to these functions. We'll do the same for operations. So mostly focusing on that right now.
Cool. Thomas, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Uh, well, yesterday I worked mostly on adding the aggregated attestation receiving from Gossip Cell and refactoring a bit of the spec test, uh, a bit of the config related code or change spec. Um, yeah, I found. I don't know if it was or two were you Paul and Thomas were mentioning, but I mean I confused a bit the usage of application.getemp, and we weren't really loading the configuration correctly from the config.exs file. I already fixed that in APR that is still unmerged, but well. And and I also started a bit the work with migrating to ports the part of our discovery. Today I'm gonna work on that last one. Uh, and I also review the PR from Martin, and I'm waiting for your approval, Thomas, for the PR first PR about migrating to ports.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations on the attestations part. That's an amazing progress in just one day. We're now getting not only blogs but attestations as well. That's amazing. Um, Aside from that, thanks for the config part. As for me, I've dedicated some part of yesterday to understanding a problem that Paul showed me in the tests. There's a couple of macro-related issues. He wasn't able to use the patch library in the tests, which was not related to using patch, of course. Like using patch is very simple, and he was doing that correctly. But our spec tests are not built in a usual way. They are part of a bigger macro, which is the test, which is the generator. The generator is run at compile time, not at runtime, if I understand correctly. And the problem is that it is subtle, but for some reason, when you put a patch inside of a handle case, then it tries to run that at test generation time, like not generating the function, but running the function at generation time, which is something extremely weird. I think that we might have some problems there. And that's the reason why I'm pretty sure about this, but I may be mistaken. That might be the reason why the patch gen server is not alive, because it's not at runtime, and it should be alive at runtime, but it's working on generation time. And this shows by the error message that says that that gen server call error happens when generating the tests. So there's a very subtle caveat there that we should work on. I may be able to continue debugging that today, but that's not my biggest priority. As of now, I need to get a lot of issues written for the fork tree section so that we have those in place for when the bootcamp starts. Just as a quick update, because I got some questions, we're trying to get all of the details ready. We'll probably be sending the emails for everyone today. And the idea would be, if everyone is available, and if we can, the idea would be to start tomorrow. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, they can ask either here or in Telegram, and then we can continue discussion over that. But that's the reason why I want to have all of the issues ready for tomorrow, so that we can have like a lot of diversity of issues to work on. And yeah, once I finish with the issues and reviewing Thomas's PR and reviewing, like addressing his comments on my own PR, then I will go back to debugging the spec tests.
Could it be related to that maybe we can kill two birds with one stone? Like maybe the fact that they are generated on runtime is also the culprit as to why they are so slow, and it's not something we really need. So maybe if we can like do a refactor to do it on compile time and kind of like generate the Elixir files or something, and so that we don't have to do it every time we run the test, maybe it would also be a win on performance time and fix the patch issue.
It could be related to that. I mean, it's not exactly running runtime; it's running compile time, and the compile time for tests is extremely low and slow, and that's why Elixir LS also takes a lot of time when you're working with spec tests, because it's like recompiling, and each time you recompile spec tests, it basically regenerates thousands of tests, and that takes a lot of time. So yeah, we like, but your idea is very good, and potentially we could kill two birds with one stone there. I will add a couple of issues on that. I'm not going to be able to work on that today, but if anyone's available for that, that's great. Okay, that's it for me. Any final comments or questions? All right, I'll take that as a no. Thank you all for joining. See you all tomorrow.